the missed face mask foul on the play that should have been a touchdown for the Commanders.
Yeah,
Dallas
well, you
Goedert makes
think
the
you
catch.
think he was? You don't think
I
he was
think
down?
it should have been. I don't think he was down. I think that by the time Davis had the ball, he wasn't being touched any longer.
Yeah.
But here's the problem. And this is why, look, I know they don't want to expand the replay. Well, let's not expand. There's some metaphor about an elephant under a tent or something like that Peter King knows the whole story. Like they're always very careful about what they add to replay review.
Yeah.
Well, the face mask foul is an easy one. They screwed up pass interference beyond belief, and that's now their defense mechanism to not adding other things. Well, look at how bad we screwed up pass interference. You don't want to trust us to handle something else with replay review because we'll screw that up too. We don't know what the hell we're doing. That is for roughing the passer.
Right.
That's what Troy Vincent said it 3 weeks ago on ESPN's pregame show. Well, it was a disaster when we made pass interference subject to replay review, so no way are we going to make roughing the passer subject to it. But you can't screw up whether or not there was a face mask.
Right.
You can't screw that up.
Yeah.
And if you really care about that as a safety rule, it should be subject to replay review because they missed it. And what I think they did there, this is my own kind of gut feel, they took the touchdown off the board because that was kind of their clumsy way of
making it up to them,
of giving the Eagles some comfort for the fact that they blew it and they couldn't drop the flag. Now, I'm surprised they didn't say after discussion there was a face mask foul. They could have done that.
I was expecting
because remember, it wasn't a full-blown replay review. It was the quasi-sky judge.
Right.
And it still has to be clear and obvious. My point was this. If we're going to be analytical about how the replay rules work, it has to be clear and obvious that the ruling on the field was wrong. The ruling on the field was a touchdown. It had to be clear and obvious that it was a mistake. It had to be clear and obvious that Davis was being touched while in possession of the ball. And he wasn't. And it's not clear and obvious. I think it's clear and obvious he wasn't being touched. He's clear of Goedert by the time he has the ball. And then he runs into the end zone.
I need to watch it. I watched it a bunch, and I didn't rewind it a ton as far as my DVR here because I thought maybe when he had the ball, Goddard's arm was still maybe touching him when he was.
It's got to be
but it was
clear
close.
and obvious. It's got to be clear and obvious that Goedert is touching him at a time when he's in possession of the ball. And I don't think anything about this is clear and obvious. That once he has possession, that's the key. You can be touching the ball, but you have to have possession of the ball to be down by contact, not just trying to pick it up. It's not enough to just be, my hand's on it, but I don't have it. You have to have it secured.
Sure.
By the time he's got it secured, it's not clear and obvious that he's being touched by Dallas Goedert. So that's the other one. But they got, and this is the kind of thing. I already got the emails. The fix is in. The game is rigged. The officials had money on the Commanders last night. That's what you get when you do the full embrace of legalized gambling. When people see that, they're going to assume corruption over incompetence. Whereas I'm more inclined to say it's just incompetence.
Yeah, well, it's
but
a
sometimes
mistake.
you can hide behind incompetence as corruption.
Sure. I mean, again, the possession of the ball and whether he scored there and all that certainly is debatable, and we can have that discussion, certainly. The face mask, mistakes are going to happen. Again, you're not going to see everything on the football field, but I do wish that, in a situation like that, I almost wish they could put that in the, we review everything about the turnover kind of rule there.
Just Sky Judge.
Or that. Either
Sky
way,
because
because my only problem with the face mask is, again, it's not that I'm like it's human error. That's going to get missed every now and then. But
but there's a way to fix it.
There is a way to fix it. There is a way to fix it, and especially on a turnover. That's to me the other thing too, just because fumbles, things like that. I don't know if that happens if he's not being grabbed by his head and being led somewhere he doesn't, right? Who's to say that face mask didn't help cause the fumble because now, wait, I've lost control of my body. Somebody's pulling me by an area, and now I don't have the tension in my body to take the hit that I'm about to receive that gives me the fumble, because my body has kind of gone relaxed because I'm like, oh, whoa, I'm being pulled somewhere where I have no control. And then you get hit, and then you fumble. So that's where it seems a little unfair, in my opinion, and in my experience with that kind of play, where you do lose that tension in your body because you're being yanked by your head, and you're, of course, in a lot of those situations, you're not like fighting it or crazy. You're kind of going with it to not hurt something else on your body.
I agree with you completely. And look, it gets back to something Bill Belichick said yesterday about
I saw that.
The Vikings-Bills game.
Right.
That the Gabe Davis catch that wasn't a catch, that wasn't reviewed because the replay assistant
unacceptable.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I
either.
don't know.
Was
and it would have been overturned. Belichick's point is the coach should always be able to throw a challenge flag. And his broader point is a coach should be able to challenge anything. If there's clear and obvious evidence that the ruling on the field was wrong, the coach should be able to say, hey, the officials screwed this up. I'm using my prerogative twice per game, 3 if my first 2 hit. If I have a timeout that I can back up that use of the red flag with, I can use it for anything. Hey, officials, you missed a face mask there. No, we didn't. Yes, you did. Red flag, go look at it. Oh, yes, we did. I just don't understand the stubborn refusal to fully embrace the modern technologies that we all enjoy while watching the games. This continues to be, and I've been saying it for so long, I hate to take up people's time by saying it again, but until they fix it, are we supposed to shut up about this? You have to bridge the gap between 7 individuals, middle-aged, who are out there with no protection, no helmets, no pads, no anything, among the gladiators, trying to decipher whizzes and blurs with the naked eye from a perspective that is far different from what the rest of us see at home. And until you understand and embrace and accept the idea that one of those people in black and white stripes should be sitting watching the same way we're watching at home and saying to Alex Kemp last night, hey, there was a face mask foul on that last play, drop a flag. Until they understand that and accept it, and I don't know, Chris, maybe the attitude again is, oh, you don't want us doing that. You think we screwed up now. Just wait until we put somebody up in that booth and give him or her the power to call down to the referee and say, you missed this and you missed that. It's going to be like having 17 little emperors sitting there with all their flat screens running the game. Well, that's on you to properly train them and hold them accountable if they go too far. I don't like this idea, and I hate to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. The NFL, when it comes to matters like this, is cheap. Just like the fields. They're cheap. Paying the officials, getting full-time officials, having extra officials as sky judges, having all the technology in place.
Having people check the proper inflation of the football. Right.
They don't feel compelled to spend money on it.
No, they
What's
don't.
the benefit? Why spend the money? Cost benefit. It's a business. Folks, it's a business. We love it, but we would be lying to you and we would be derelict in our duties if we didn't say to you, football is family. No, football is business, and it's good for business to say football is family. Football is business. It's a multi-billion-dollar operation, and they want to make as much money as they can, and that's okay. I do too. But there's a point where you have to understand the raw desire for profit must yield to doing the right thing. And the right thing for the game, not the league. The league is different from the game. The NFL, the league office is not the game. The game is what plays out across the country every Sunday, Monday, Thursday, whenever else they're going to play games because they want to make more money. The game has its best interests at times in conflict with the league. Full-time officials, full embrace of sky judge, hire people who are competent to run it, to supervise it, and if they're not, you get rid of them and you get somebody else. We don't know what we're doing. I mean, I've said this before, I think I have. I don't know. I'm old, so I forget. When I was a kid, they made me cut the grass once, and I screwed it up so bad they never asked me to do it again. Genius.
Right.
And that's how it is. We screwed up instant replay so bad. You don't want to trust us with any of this other stuff. We don't want to start watching TV screens. We don't know what we're going to do. Get out of here with that. Make the commitment, spend the money, get it right. It's in the best interest of the game. And if anybody at 345 Park Avenue doesn't like it, tough crap. I'm concerned about the best interest of the game, not the best interest of anyone's pocketbook or balance sheets. Best interest of the game. This is required. And I'm going to keep banging that drum until they do it, Chris.
Yeah, Mike, I don't blame you. I mean, again, we all want a better product on the field, and we want the game to be fair to make sure the right team wins for the right reasons. And again, yeah, I guess that's what we got to figure out, that human error is going to happen, mistakes, whatever. What I don't want happening, just real quick, because I want to get into the game here and not talk about the referees for the first 30 minutes here, is just the fact that I don't want.
You got the same text I did.
Well, I don't get any text. I don't know. I don't look at my phone like you during the show. I'm focused on you, okay? But I don't want challenges of like, the run was over here 40 yards, and there's like, maybe a ticky-tack holding penalty 40 yards away that had nothing to do with the play, and we challenge it, and by the letter of the law, there was a penalty. And then we have to do, after further review, the ticky-tack holding penalty that happened 40 yards from the play that had nothing to do with it, it was holding. So we're going to give you 5 yards. That's what we don't need, and that's where we got to draw the fine line there.
I understand that. And that's, look, we should trust the multi-billion-dollar operation to properly draw those lines and properly implement the rules that would prevent that outcome. So I agree with you on that.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.